James, once I go under contract, what are the most important time frames that I need to be aware of? Well, let me say this. A good agent's going to make sure that you hit all the timelines in the contract. So let's review a couple of those things. First of all, earnest money. So once you go under contract as a buyer, you need to submit that earnest money in a timely manner, typically within 2 to 3 days of going under contract. As a seller, you want to make sure the buyer's submitting that. If they don't, you have the right to kick them to the side and move on to another buyer. So that can be a really important contingency. Secondly, if you're a cash purchase or cash buyer, you're going to be looking at proof of funds and making sure those get submitted if you didn't do that with your original offer. Next, inspections. Not only ordering inspections in a very timely manner, but responding to those inspections. Response both as a buyer and as a seller. If you're a buyer, make sure you hit that first deadline. As a seller, make sure you hit the deadline that the buyer has given you to respond back to those inspections. Next, homeowners insurance, making sure that you can get that. Typically, that's 12 to about 20 days in our marketplace. Coordinating with your homeowner insurance agent, to make sure you can get insurance on the home. If you're getting a loan, obviously the number of days to apply and the number of days to get approved for that loan are super important. If you don't do that in a timely manner, you may be liable to get kicked from the curb, and the seller may be able to move on from you as a buyer and accept another offer. Finally, we talk about closing and possession. So those are the last 2 dates that are most important. Obviously, getting the property closed and then moving into the home if you're a buyer, or moving out of it as a seller. That is totally negotiable, but typically we see about 30 days for the closing date from the time of an accepted offer, and then the possession can be at closing, sometimes up to a month after closing. Obviously, it really just depends on what you've negotiated with the other party, but those are the main time frames that we need to be aware of when it comes to a purchase agreement.